Everyone. So I'm sure we know by now, I'm Adam. So I decided to start the project off with a picture of me and my daughter. As you all know, this week we had to find a Japanese food and take a picture of us enjoying the food as we did our wonderful readings from Gordon. Actually, that's my daughter holding a Japanese drink that she drinks all the time. It's a strawberry drink made in Japan. She's been drinking it for a long time. And when I told her the assignment, she's like, "Oh, I want to be involved." And it really did make me happy to see my daughter kind of get excited and be involved in my learning. But I assume we probably want to learn about what content made me happy. So let's just shift gears and talk about that. In all honesty, I've never have really learned much about Asian history outside of World War II. I think in college I only took one Asian history class, and that was like 27 years ago, 26 years ago. So it's been a while, but I like to learn. That's what makes me happy. And this was definitely me stepping outside of my comfort zone. And I enjoyed a lot learning about the Meiji Restoration. I've heard the phrase before. I just didn't know what it was because, I teach only U.S. history and AP government. So, like I say, learning something new, it makes me happy. And now I know what the Meiji Restoration is. How this class changed my views on certain aspects of Japan? I would definitely say U.S. relations with Japan, the history of it, it's definitely changed. My views have changed on it. I've always known about Matthew Perry's expedition to Japan and how he opened up relations with Japan, but I didn't realize that it led to unequal treaties that led to a lot of anger and hostility. And there seems to be a history of unfair treaties being pressed on Japan, whether it's, Matthew Perry or other European traders or the naval treaties of the 1920s, or, a lot of Japanese didn't even like the United States Japanese Security Treaty. So definitely kind of changed my view. I did enjoy reading about Eisenhower's press secretary, Haggerty, being attacked in 1960 when he was visiting Japan, and a lot of Japanese who were protesting the renewal of the United States Japanese Security Treaty swarmed his car, and how a helicopter had to rescue him. And when I read that in Gordon this week, I thought, I'm going to find a picture of that. So there's that picture. Kind of neat. But, it doesn't just stop there. The United States didn't necessarily let Japan know when the United States was going to reopen relations with the People's Republic of China in the 1970s. So I think my views on U.S.-Japanese relations have changed. And I think when I teach about, diplomatic aspects of the United States-Japanese history, especially with the Cold War, I think I'm probably going to have to change some things up next year when I teach about it. The third question was, how did I benefit from our class discussions? I actually enjoyed some class discussions. I like learning from other people, and class discussions lead to that. This week Nathan did a great answer to number 3. We had to find a news event, and he looked up a news event about women-only train cars in Japan due to sexual harassment. I never knew about this. It was mind-blowing. If you get a chance, read his post, and I think he did connect the link. It's an interesting article. Therese last week, I loved her responses about Hiroshima. It made me really reflect about the bombing of Hiroshima. And, Tony, week 3, I work with Tony. Tony's a AP World History teacher, and, what he knows about world history is mind-blowing. And I enjoyed his week 3 comments about Egypt's modernization and how he compared it to Japan's modernization in the 19th century. And so I enjoy our discussions. I like learning. I know Hayden and I did a film essay. I know that's not a discussion, but again, though, it was a positive collaboration. It was a great experience, and I learned a lot. Hayden and I were assigned a movie called Good Morning. It's a great movie, actually. And I really enjoyed working on the film essay with him. Again, it's always nice to learn from other people. And that's definitely why we have class discussions and film essays. What do I think is necessary to teach about Japan in U.S. history curriculum? Definitely the topic of comfort women should probably be, I should teach more about. I do cover it in class, in my U.S. history class. When I talk about Japanese atrocities, I do touch on that along with the rape of Nanking and some of the other war crimes that Japan did. But it's probably something I should probably expand on, especially today, like the attempts of the Japanese government to try to downplay their role in this war crime, or the McGraw Hill controversy of the Japanese government trying to pressure an American textbook company, or even the actions of that Harvard economic professor who has ties to Japanese historical foundations and some very biased positions and improper positions he wrote about in an academic paper. These are some things that we should probably touch on in U.S. history curriculum because you can tie it to the past and it is current history. So this kind of a topic that I'm probably going to have to work on a little bit more for next year. But I would say overall, if I had to reflect, this was a good experience. I finally learned what the Meiji Restoration was. I stepped outside of my comfort zone. My views on U.S.-Japanese relations have definitely changed, and you can see a connection now, where previously these were all just separate historical events, but you kind of see a connection. I had some great classroom discussions, and I know what I have to work on next year when I teach. So overall, good experience. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their summer. Thank you.